To the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. Let's go. In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest technical analysis as well as the 5 things to watch out for in the Bitcoin market this week. Also, this just in, the Bitcoin hash rate shatters another record with 500 exahashes per second. Let's go. And quoting Max Kaiser, the way to peace is Bitcoin. Unconfiscatable Bitcoin that monetizes violence and monetizes peace and love. All property, including seafront property on the Mediterranean, is going to zero against Bitcoin. Also breaking news, the Binance CEO outlines the plan for the crypto exchange after CZ had stepped down. And speaking of CZ, breaking news just in, the judge rules that CZ cannot leave the United States before his sentencing. We'll also be discussing the latest with Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, recommending Bitcoin, gold, and silver investments before it's too late. In his latest, we'll also be sharing Bitcoin about to repeat 2020-2021 rally to 60 G's, baby, according to this top crypto strategist. We'll also be sharing Bitcoin surging by up to 960% for this bull cycle, and it's very reasonable, says Mikhail Bande Pop. That target takes us to $400,000 per coin. I'll be breaking down his latest outlook. We'll also be sharing Bitcoin smashing 524,000 per coin this cycle, according to PlanB, creator of the Bitcoin stock to flow model. He also says Bitcoin will never go sub 35,000 ever again. I'll be explaining why. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more in today's show. Welcome everyone just joining us. Much love, much respect. It's a Monday, just a few more days left of Moonvember. Let me know how many of you are currently bullish on that King Crypto. Shout out to everyone just joining us. What up, Jaws? Let me know how the stream is. Hopefully we're smooth and clear. So a quick little mic check. What up, Track? What up, Greg Miranda? I'm a 12%er. That's what's up. This is a live and interactive show. You'll notice a live poll up there in that live chat. Please do participate. At the end of the show, we'll be reading some of those results out loud. Welcome, Alice. I appreciate the smash likes. Greatly appreciate you tuning into the live show. Shout out to Baller Bill. Shout out to our mods, Maximus, Dankness, Coinfather, Streamlabs, and the rest of the Crypto News Alerts fam. What it do, OG Backroad Crypto Bootleg. Welcome to today's show. Hopefully everyone's holiday weekend was lit. Please do let me know. What it do, Jim? The stream is nice. Love to hear that. Loud and clear, JV. Thank you, Maximus. Music to my ears, looking and sounding good. That's what's up. Welcome, Stephen Hubs. Good to see you. Welcome, Fred NYC, New York. In the building. Let's go. Stylus, welcome, says Larry Fink really is a ruler that was never elected. He is like a mortar between the politician bricks. Crazy, right? $5 is a lot of sats. That's what? 50,000 or 500,000 sats. Can you get that much for $5? Good Lord. Everyone here should be at least a Satoshi millionaire. What up, Jose Ventura? Appreciate you subscribing to the show. Everyone who shows your support and subscribes will get on-screen recognition and a shout out by yours truly during the live stream. So I greatly appreciate it. What's up, Matthew? What up, Crypto Surge? Brooklyn. That's where my fam is from. BK to the bridge. Let's go. What up, Jamie? Bermuda in the building. Welcome, fam. Appreciate tuning in to the live. Corona Free Radio says, love your show. Thank you. Appreciate the support. It means the world to me. So, you know what I mean? We have lots to cover, so let's just kick it off, shall we? Welcome everyone just joining us. This is a live and interactive show. Make sure you're subscribed to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. Also be sure to smash the subscribe button because it helps out tremendously with that YouTube algorithm. The goal is to get the channel to 100,000 subs along with that Bitcoin price action. Right now we're sitting just on top of 60,000, so we got quite a ways to go, but with your help, we can turn that into a reality. I appreciate everyone. Today is pod episode number 1474. I'm your host, JV, and today is November 27th, 2023. Let's kick it off with our market watch as we do each and every day. We got Bitcoin under 37,000, correcting along with the rest of the altcoin market. We got Ether sitting just under 2,000. We got Solana down 5%, BNB down 3%, XRP down 3%, and Cardano down roughly 3% as all the current cryptos in the market are correcting, at least the top ones. And zooming out for the 1 month to get a broader perspective, Bitcoin still up 9% in the past 30 days. Ether up 12%. We got BNB barely in the green. We got XRP up 10%, Cardano up 29%, and Solana up over 70%, being one of the top gainers. Massive shout out to Emilio Gonzalez. I greatly appreciate that super chat. You guys are amazing. Much love and much respect. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, we are sitting on a 1.4 trillion market cap, virtually half of where we were at the peak back in November of 2021. Crypto did hit 3 trillion overall, and the volume is up in the past 24 hours. Sitting at 51 billion, up almost 38%. We got the Bitcoin dominance at 51.6%, back on the climb, and the Ether dominance back on the decline at 17.3%. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers of the past 24 hours, Celestia is modestly up 3.5%, trading at $5.60, followed by Axie Infinity, up 2%, followed by Gala, up 1.5%. That's because the vast majority of the crypto altcoins are currently correcting and in the red, as you can see here. Now, which altcoins, if any, are you most bullish on for this bull cycle? Please do let me know, and I'll read all of your comments out loud in a little bit. And checking out Crypto Bubble so we can get a visual perspective. You can see mass corrections across the board, only a handful in the green. And if we zoom out on the weekly, we can see the majority are still in the red with a handful in the green. And if we zoom out for the monthly, virtually everything is in the green, minus Hex and a handful of others such as Satoshi Vision and Bitcoin Cash. Go figure. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, we're currently rated a 66 in greed. Yesterday was a 73, last week a 69, and last month a 65 in greed. So there you have it, my crypto fam. Where do you feel the Bitcoin price action is likely to take us by the end of this month? Only 3 days out. Please let me know before we enter December. And then the new year for 2024 is right around the corner, roughly less than 50 days left until January 10th, which is the next major deadline for the ETFs, for the regulators. We'll see if BlackRock, Fidelity, Van Eck, 21 shares, and the rest of them get that green light, because you already know it's going to be lit. What up, Hazar? Welcome, fam. And it's Cyber Monday, so stack some sats, 2-for-1 fire sale. Let's go. What up, Barry? Welcome. Barry says he's bullish on ETH. Baller Bill, what it do? FTT, why are so many people bullish on this token? It's mind-boggling. Are they going to be rebooting the FTX exchange? Does Gary Gensler hold FTT? Do some corrupt, crooked politicians that Bankman-Fried paid off hold some of this token? Things that make you go, Let me know your guys' thoughts. Let's go, JV. Let's go, Andy. Appreciate you. I think Bitcoin Cash will do well since newcomer people will be mistaking it to consider it more affordable. That's a sad reality. Most people don't know any better. They just see Bitcoin in the name and they think it's the real Bitcoin. Same with Satoshi Vision and the rest of them. Just by having Bitcoin in the name makes a lot of people probably purchase it that don't know any better. So you make a good point. Fairground Fun Fairs UK, watching from Cornwall, England. Shout out to my fam out there in the UK. Shiba is my only ish coin. Mad Money Gamble held since 2021, says Track U2. Polygon to $5. Now, you got to also remember recent lawsuit against Kraken by the SEC. They deemed 16 cryptocurrency securities, including Polygon, including Solana, and so many others. Virtually everything minus Bitcoin and XRP right now is deemed an unregistered security by the regulators, so be careful out there, fam. Emilio says 188 watching and only 56 likes. Come on, fam. Smash the like. Thanks for the reminder. We're thinking the same. Great minds think alike. Much love. JV, bullish on Luna Classic and XRP and Chili's. Word up. What's up with Luna? You know what I mean? How is that still going strong, considering didn't their CEO, Do Kwon, get arrested and extradited and all that kind of stuff? Didn't it crash? So I'm anxious to hear your guys' thoughts, because I don't know too much about that particular project myself, but it's still hanging in there, which is very interesting. What's up? Silas, yeah, I agree. Send any newbies to Bitcoin-only exchanges so they can't get scammed. Good point. What are the top Bitcoin-only exchanges where you could purchase Bitcoin-only? The first ones that come to my mind would be like Cash App, Swan. What are the others out there? Let me know, so the guys have a lot of options out here. On Matrix, they're also trying to sneak the word spot into derivatives. No way. Are they going to like change the definition or something like that? That'd be wild. Many ETH to 10,000. Word up for your sake, Barry. I hope ETH hits 10,000 because a rising tide rises all ships. We already know when Bitcoin hits 500,000, yes, ETH will be 10, 20,000. Easy peasy, in my opinion. Swan is Bitcoin only. Good to note. Also, there is River. Thank you, Matthew. Appreciate that. Surprised they're going to still sentence CZ. Crazy sad. Really? Yeah, they say he could face up to 18 months in prison, even with, admitting the guilt and paying the $4.3 billion fine to the SEC. It's wild. Strike, there you go. Shout out to Jack Mallers, the CEO of Strike. Another way to purchase Bitcoin and do auto buys and all that good stuff that comes along with it. Krona Free says Cardano, file, and Algorand. Word up. I appreciate you sharing. Yes, it crashed and stayed low for ages. Seems like a pickup since CZ got caught. Or he did. PayPal is only Bitcoin, ETH, Bitcoin, Cash, and Litecoin. Now, here's some advice. If you're going to be using any exchange, including PayPal, make your trade or purchase and immediately remove it from the exchange, because if you don't have it in your own private wallet where you control the keys, you don't own it. So if something were to happen, you're gone. You know what I mean? For example, with FTX, if you had your crypto in the FTX exchange, when it shut down and filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, you don't have access to your crypto, not your keys, not your coin. The same goes for every exchange. It don't even matter if it's Binance, the world's largest exchange, because we already seen a preview of what can happen. So it's better to be safe than sorry and protect your crypto. Howdy, Phil C. Appreciate you tuning in. Makes you wonder if CZ was holding it back. Yeah, it does make you wonder. Ben Franklin went to jail for 5 days before. Oh, word, Chris? I didn't know that. What'd they lock him up for? Looks like at least 50% of the people here hold at least one Bitcoin. How freaking awesome. Yeah, shout out to the #1 podcast with the most whole coiners watching on a daily basis. That, my friend, is a fact. I appreciate you. I'm talking some ish right now because I know there's podcasts with thousands of people, but I'm just saying we have the best audience, so I greatly appreciate y'all. Christopher says, big news for Bitcoin next week. Buckle up. What's the big news? Let me know. Few in Canada, Bull Bitcoin, Beaver Bitcoin for the non-KYC options. Word. I'd never heard of that exchange, Beaver Bitcoin, but just based on the name, you guys should check it out, especially if you're in Canada, eh? PayPal is only Bitcoin, ETH, and yeah, that's good to note. Now, if an exchange doesn't allow you to self-custody your own crypto, I would avoid it altogether. Also, the exchanges where you purchase your crypto and you can't offload it for, say, 60 days or 90 days, I'd be very cautious over those exchanges as well. But anyway, fam, now let's dive into today's Bitcoin technical analysis. Check out the charts of where the Bitcoin price action is likely to go next. Let's go. You should be able to see this right here on your screen. Here are the 5 things to watch out for in the Bitcoin market this week. Number 1, the monthly close looms with the Bitcoin price up less than 10%. That's right. The monthly close forms the key diary date for the day traders this week with Bitcoin at a crossroads. I'll see you at the crossroads so you won't be lone. Y'all remember that Bone Thugs track? Brings me back to 6th grade memories. Had to throw that in there. Untested liquidity, levels to the downside and the lure of 40,000 to the upside, surrounded by resistance, makes for a stubborn daily trading range. Neither the bulls nor the bears have been able to dislodge an increasingly narrow corridor for the King Crypto. Even new higher highs on the daily time frames have been few and short-lived. The last weekly close, a timely drop, saw bids beginning to be filled, with Bitcoin dropping to the low of 37,100 before recovering, according to Cointelegraph and TradingView. And here you're looking at the Bitcoin 1-hour candle chart. And quoting SKU Analytics, spot takers led the bounce, and eventually the perp takers were the forced bid, mostly short forced out of the market. Now, as we go into the EU session and US session, it's important to see if the spot bids or not. Now, SKU likewise referenced the blocks of liquidity, both above and below the spot price, at 37 and 38,000 as the key levels to watch. He also says there's lots of bid liquidity below 37,000, so if the spot takers continue to be net sellers, this would be the momentum required to fill those limit bids below. Ask for liquidity, aka supply, that remains between 38 and 40,000. It's an important area to go higher. That's right. And the current annual high, an 18-month high, is 38,500. Then we dropped to where we're currently at. And that was just a few days ago. So hopefully we can retest and blow past it and flip that resistance into a support and head on up to 42. And with the monthly close just like 3 days out, Bitcoin is up still roughly 8% month to date, making November of this year thoroughly average compared to the years that have gone by. And data from monitoring resource CoinGlass shows November is normally characterized by much stronger Bitcoin price moves, which can be both up and down. So Q4 overall, meanwhile, has so far delivered gains of nearly 40%. Not too shabby. We didn't have a disappointing October whatsoever. YouTuber, but Moonvember has been positive as well. And overall, I believe we're up roughly 125% year to date. Not too shabby. Now, a classic macro week with volatility triggers to watch awaits Bitcoin traders as November draws to close. This is the second catalyst to watch out this week, with the key inflation markers leading the macro catalyst. The U.S. Fed will receive some key data on inflation over the coming days, feeding into next month's decision on interest rate policy. Quoting the Kabisi letter, key events to watch out for this week. Number one, we have new home sales data today on Monday. Number two, consumer confidence data on Tuesday. Number three, GDP data on Wednesday. Number four, PCE inflation data on Thursday. Number five, Fed Chair Jerome Powell speaks this Friday. And number six, the total of 10 Fed speakers event. We are 2 weeks out from the December Fed meeting, so it's right around the corner. Full trading week ahead and volatility is here to stay, they share. Data from the CME Group's FedWatch tool currently put the odds of the Fed holding rates at the current levels at an almost unanimous 99.5%, which you can see here in this chart. Now for the third factor to keep your eyes out on this week in the Bitcoin market, and that's GBTC eyeing the Bitcoin price parity. That's right. While Bitcoin is still waiting for U.S. regulators to greenlight the country's first spot Bitcoin ETF, markets show that the mood continues to change for the better. Nowhere is this more apparent than with the largest Bitcoin institutional investment vehicle, the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, who is the largest hodler of Bitcoin on the planet, currently with over 620,000 BTC. Itself, due to be converted to a spot ETF, GBTC is fast approaching parity with its underlying asset pair. Now, once nearly 50% lower, the GBTC share price had a mere 8% discount to net asset value as of November 24th, as per CoinGlass data. The fund's renaissance has formed a key narrative over both the successful ETF approval to come and the emergence of a genuine mass institutional interest in Bitcoin for the first time. Quoting on-chain analyst William Clemente, looks like the market is really expecting this ETF approval soon. When do you feel we're going to get that green light? Let me know, fam. And in terms of a watershed moment hitting, the dates of note now all come after the new year, with January 10th being a big one. In the latest market update from Telegram channel subscribers, trading firm QCP Capital argued that January 3rd would be a timely approval date, coinciding with the 15th anniversary of the Bitcoin Genesis block. So it could be coming even sooner than expected. Thereafter, January 10th marks an interim deadline for the first spot ETF inline, that of ARK Invest, as the final deadline for ARK's app is included in the first batch of approval. Quoting him here, and in the case ARK is rejected and the rest postponed yet again, the true make or break deadline is then March 15th, where BlackRock and the main bunch of candidates face their own final deadline. Now, I got to throw out there the top ETF analysts from Bloomberg give it a 90% chance that we get that approval for the ETF by January 10th, and Matrixport came out and said there is a 100% chance, so they're fully confident that the ETF will be coming anytime soon. Now for the next factor to watch out for in the Bitcoin market this week, the Bitcoin hash rate hits another all-time high for another watershed moment. Let's go. In advance of the upcoming block subsidy halving scheduled to take place in April, roughly 5 months out, the Bitcoin miners are deploying record processing power to the network, as they should be. Hash rate, the estimated measure of this development, is now at its highest ever, and this month passed 500 exahashes per second for the first time. Look at that chart. Talk about parabola. You gotta love that. The achievement not only represents a psychological landmark, but also underscores the miner's conviction to future profitability. Even when the Bitcoin price performance still remains 50% below its own peak, and at the same time, outflows from known miner wallets to exchanges are at their lowest levels in 7 years, per data from on-chain analytics platform CryptoQuant. Quoting them here, the flow of movement from Bitcoin miner wallets to exchange wallets ultimately represents the activity of these entities in the open market. The entry of coins into the exchanges increases the liquidity of Bitcoin on these platforms, providing additional selling pressure in the market. So there you have it. He also noted that the miners are always selling some portion of their holdings, but the current 90 BTC monthly average is the lowest since 2017. So we all know what's a-coming, and they're ready. Let's go. Now for the fifth and final factor to keep your eyes out on this week in the Bitcoin market. Bitcoin exchange balances resume a downtrend. That's right. After a month of turmoil caused by withdrawal shutoffs and legal action against some of the top crypto exchanges, including Coinbase, Binance, in line with the broader trend in place for 5 years, the exchanges and stocks of Bitcoin are drifting ever lower. Also, there is another lawsuit recently against Kraken, and let's not forget, roughly 10 months ago, they settled and paid like a $30 million fine. And now Gary Gensler, the SEC, have come back for seconds, and they're also deeming 16 cryptocurrencies as unregistered securities, which includes Solana, Polygon/Matic, and many other alts, just FYI. But according to the latest data from on-chain analytics firm Glassnode, the combined holdings of the major exchanges total 2.3 million BTC as of November 26th, which was yesterday. With the exception of the recent lows in October, this is the smallest amount of available Bitcoin since April of 2018. Can you say supply shock? Let's go. As its peak was back in March 2020 after the COVID crash, the tally stood at 3.3 million BTC. So can we be having another deja vu moment? Let me know your thoughts. The picture was complicated in November thanks to traders' reactions to Binance receiving a record 4.3 billion US fine, along with Polynex and HTX halting withdrawals altogether after the hack. So there you have it. My crypto fam, I mean, look at this hash rate chart. It's sexy as a mofo. And quoting the high priest of Bitcoin, Max Kaiser, the way to peace is Bitcoin. Unconfiscatable Bitcoin demonetizes violence and monetizes peace and love. All property, including seafront property on the Mediterranean, is going to zero against Bitcoin. That's right. Bitcoin is the life raft, or better yet, Bitcoin is the ark. It's our savior. Bitcoin is God hacking humanity. So take action accordingly. And with that being shared, I just shared with you the 5 things to watch out for in the market this week. Let me know what you guys are most looking forward to. And welcome everyone just joining us. What up, Miami Subprime? Appreciate ya. Will Nuck, good to see you, Nuck. How's it going, fam? UFO Nut, welcome to the live. Mick Lovin, welcome, fam. Philip says dollar sat show. That's right, million dollar bitch, y'all. Let's go. JV, you have more non-millionaires watching your show, holding 1 or more Bitcoin, which is more than most millionaires will ever be able to do. Amen, track you too. I appreciate that. JV, what is the hash rate? That's a great question, Barry BTC. That basically shows us how strong the network is. It's the computational power of the Bitcoin blockchain, ultimately. And the higher it is, the stronger and more secure the network is. And Max Kaiser says price is a lagging indicator to the hash rate. So when we see all-time highs, that means the foundation and fundamentals are stronger than ever. And we're going to see new all-time highs incoming here soon. So that's what it is, fam. Yes, greetings from Slovenia. Appreciate you. Next. Appreciate you tuning in. Shout out to the Bitcoin block. Let's go. How much Bitcoin have you got? JV asked Paul. I have none. I lost it all in a boating accident. Very similar to Max Kaiser. Very sad, but hey, it happens to the best of us. Bitcoin is down below 37. That's right now is a great opportunity to stack sats on the low. Roland Curtis. So take advantage of it while it lasts, because I'm telling you, as we enter 2024, we're not going to have prices nowhere near this. PlanB, creator of the Bitcoin stock to flow model, says we may never see sub 35,000 Bitcoin ever again. I'll be breaking down his argument on why he believes that a little later on here in the show. I think we hit 40,000 this week. I'm with you, Green Meds. And shout out to Green Meds. What an awesome username. Sorry to repeat, Hashdex's bid to convert an existing Bitcoin ETF into a spot vehicle is unique because the fund manager proposes holding a mix of Bitcoin future contracts, spot, Bitcoin, and cash. Says on Matrix, buying gold makes you a poor dad. Well, as they say, gold is the poor man's Bitcoin. There's nothing like the real thing, baby. Just saying. So take action accordingly. Appreciate you guys. Let's smoke some hash rate, says Jim Wood. Word hits from the Hopium Bong. Always welcome here on Crypto News Alerts. You know what I mean? I appreciate y'all just joining us and tuning in. Let's dive into our next story of the day because we still got so much to cover. Let's break it down. Next up, here's the latest with the plan for the top exchange in the world by the name of Binance that recently just had to pay a $4.3 billion fine to the SEC. Let's break this down. But before I even break down the steps and plan moving forward from their new CEO, first breaking news just in, the judge rules CZ of Binance he cannot leave the United States before his sentencing. Little does he know that CZ can go anywhere he wants in the metaverse. They got jokes for you. But here's the official ruling. In this motion, the judge stayed in the motion, basically CZ's request to return to the UAE before sentences. What this means is the judge is not prepared to make the official decision yet. However, CZ is still required to stay in the US during this process. So effectively, he is grounded, I guess, because he could be a flight risk. So they're keeping him in the United States. So there you have it. But anyways, let's get to the latest of what's going on with the exchange moving forward. We got Richard Tang, Binance's former global head of regional markets and now CEO, announced his intention to drive the growth at the crypto exchange following CZ stepping down. In the new post, he said that he had the support of CZ and Binance's leadership following the former CEO's departure as part of an agreement with the US officials. According to Tang, Binance plans to continue a user-focused approach to his business and drive growth and the adoption of Web3, assuring customers will hear more from him soon. Quoting him here from the post, "I am eager to jump headfirst into my new role and know there will be many more opportunities for me to share my thoughts with the community through blogs like this one, through my social media accounts on Twitter and LinkedIn," hey, it's X now, dog, "and through the many industry conferences and events around the world." And as he shared on X, here's my first blog as a Binance CEO. "I want to take this opportunity to share immediate focus areas, discuss our responsibility to users, and my view on the future of our industry." Now, it's currently unclear how he'll manage Binance's business as it balances U.S. oversight with well-known figures like CZ moving out of its leadership. Now, on November 22nd, blockchain analytics firm Nansen reported there didn't appear to be a mass exodus of funds 24 hours after the U.S. settlement with Binance, with the exchange total holding increasing to more than $65 billion. But heads up, regardless, it's still not a good idea to just keep your crypto on any exchange, obviously including Binance. So remove it from the exchange wallets into your own private wallet in self-custody for protection. It's better to be safe than sorry. Now, Tang became the CEO of Binance after CZ agreed to step down as part of that settlement agreement with the Department of Justice, which was announced November 21st. CZ pleaded guilty to one felony charge and will pay $150 million to the regulators, while the crypto exchange agreed to roughly pay $4.3 billion in penalties. I'm curious, where do you think this money goes? Like, who gets it and what will they do with it? Do you think they'll just use it to continue to shake down crypto exchanges and so forth? I'd love to know your thoughts. Now, the authorities are attempting to restrict travel, which we just mentioned. He has to stay in the United States until the time of his sentencing. Unfortunately for him, he can't go back to Dubai where his family is, and he can face up to 18 months in prison following his sentencing in February of 2024. Now, ironic enough, I think it's March where Bankman-Fried will be sentenced as the trial shall commence and continue. But I'd love to know your thoughts. Do you think CZ will face any prison time, or do you think it'll be more like house arrest, kind of like Arthur Hayes, the ex-CEO and founder of the crypto derivatives exchange BitMEX, back, I think that was like 2017 or 2018. The regulators went after him. He had to step down. He didn't get any jail time, but he got house arrest, had to pay hefty fines. So do you think that will happen, or do you think he may be with Bankman-Fried in prison during this time? That would be pretty ironic. The two biggest crypto exchange CEOs in the world in jail at the same time. Crazy how fast this world will go. You know what I mean? Anyways, SBF and CZ would snuggle, obviously, you know what I mean? Young iChain, what it do? Welcome to the live. Notice they don't find crypto execs in BTC. They ought to, right? Just take all their Bitcoin away from them, because the big banks are corrupt with the official currency, the US dollar compliant. It's part of the club. That's right. It's a big club. None of us are in it. And thank God, who would want to be in their evil club when we got Bitcoin, which is the antidote to their CBDCs and central bank digital slavery systems, which we know. You know what I mean? So yeah, the world supports CZ, says Pubokaziam. Word. They want CZ because he took down their Patsy SBF. It does seem to be that way, Dub Proof, because they've been targeting him ever since. It's just the nature of the beast. They're now in the big leagues playing with the big dogs, the Larry Finks, the Abigail Johnsons, you know what I mean, and the major asset managers. They're going to give him jail time for sure, says Phil C. Yeah, maybe they'll make an example out of him, you know what I mean, to scare people in crypto. DCA all the way. Definitely good advice. Okay, good. Good afternoon, my fam. Appreciate you tuning in to the live show. You know what I mean? Crypto Lucian, welcome, fam. Bitcoin to gold any day. I mean, convert your gold into Bitcoin would be wise. Gold is up. I think it smashed 2,000 an ounce. But unfortunately, it's massively controlled and manipulated the entire precious metals markets. That's why you got big banks like JP Morgan Chase ended up paying like $900 million fines because they get caught red-handed for spoofing the precious metal markets. Whereas with Bitcoin, once we get the spot ETF, we'll have true price discovery. You know what I mean? My hash rate, about 1/2 gram per hour, depending upon the hash. That's awesome. Shout out Passive. JV, let's go. Appreciate you guys. What up, what up? Gold is crazy mofos that have rocks in their heads and pockets like a crazy person. Word. Buying gold will make you a poor dad. Word. Hey, Jay, what up, guys? Sardrina, appreciate you. Is this crackdown the US dollar printers owner attacking crypto? Could very well. Somebody is attacking crypto. Clearly, you got to just really logically think about this. Bitcoin is a threat to the entire legacy financial system. It's a threat to the entire central banking cartels. And who runs the world? The people behind the organizations, I should say, behind the money printers. You're 100% right. And so they don't want Bitcoin to take over. They don't want Bitcoin to be $1 million per coin, because that means the US dollar will effectively lose 99.99% of its value. So they're trying to survive. And how do they do that? By attacking crypto. They can't control Bitcoin, but what can they do? They can control the on-ramps. They could control the off-ramps, which are the exchanges, and that's precisely what we're witnessing in real time right now. You know what I mean? Bitcoin Trainee, welcome, fam. Hit the like, guys. Thanks for the reminder, Fairground. Appreciate that. Thanks for those thumbs up. ETH is worse than any other ish coin. Well, one thing that really sucks about Ethereum, they have a maximum supply, which is infinity, which means they can print at will. So it makes you wonder, how much more Ethereum will they print? What's the difference between Ethereum and the US dollar? They can both print unlimited amounts. There is no max supply. Whereas with Bitcoin, it's a true store of value because there is a finite limited supply of 21 million. So it has the scarcity built into the protocol. It's decentralized, unconfiscatable, incorruptible, and just perfect money overall. What up, Nathan? Good to see you, my man. Yeah, so I mean, it is what it is. The fear of missing out on 10 million, says on Matrix. Word. JV, you're awesome. Been watching you for years. Been accumulating Bitcoin for years. And ready for the next halving advent. Word up, JT. Appreciate your support and thank you so much for tuning in to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. You know what I mean? I'm getting smarter in my older age. I'm drinking water in between articles. I speak probably tens of thousands of words within my show, so I appreciate you guys. Anyways, fam, now let's dive into our next story of the day and discuss the latest with Rich Dad Poor Dad. Robert Kiyosaki, he says, purchase Bitcoin, gold, and silver investments before it's too late. And shout out to Rich Dad. I am a fan. Now, the price of gold recently crossed $2,000 per ounce, marking a steady recovery amid the weakening value of fiat currency. And as a strong supporter of the Bitcoin ecosystem, Kiyosaki recommended to his 2.4 million followers to reduce their exposure to fiat currencies, which he called fake money system. Preach. Quoting him here, great news, gold reaches new high. Bad news, workers and savers are losers. Bad news, been saying the same for 25 years. Don't be a loser. Get out of the fake money system. Get into gold, silver, Bitcoin now before it's too late. Preach. And word up, I think the first lesson in Rich Dad Poor Dad is don't work for money. That's for the slave class, fam. So what do? You invest into Bitcoin and assets that are going to appreciate, with Bitcoin being the apex predator. So personally, I agree with the sentiment, except I'm all in on Bitcoin. So I say go all in on Bitcoin as well versus hedging with gold and silver, just because gold and silver and precious metals are heavily manipulated, and Bitcoin's upside potential is like 100x that of gold and silver. And Max has said for every dollar gain you see in gold, you're going to see $30 to $50 in Bitcoin, but the choice is yours. The average person who tries to save money is a loser, said Kiyosaki, while recommending other forms of investments such as gold, silver, and Bitcoin. Don't be a loser. Get out of the fake money system. Get into gold, silver, and Bitcoin now before it's too late. And on November 23rd, he blamed the woke government for the rising inflation and the daily struggle that followed. Quoting him here, I am shocked that the rising prices of inflation. Thank God I have plenty of more, yet I feel for those who struggle paycheck to paycheck. I feel for the people who cannot afford food, rent, and fuel, and cannot afford to invest into gold, silver, and Bitcoin, as I suggest. Our woke liberal leaders and educators are Marxists, not capitalists. Preach. If our woke leaders were capitalists, prices would come down and prosperity would spread. Let's get rid of Marxists from government and vote MAGA. I guess that's pronounced MAGA. Is that Make America Great Again? Correct me if I'm wrong, but there you have it, coming directly from Rich Dad. He says to continue to move his fiat assets into Bitcoin and precious metals because leaders don't care about you. Word. Quoting the late great George Carlin, may he rest in peace. It's a big club and we're not in it. And their actions boil down to war and poverty. That's right. Fiat currency basically perpetuates a war and poverty, whereas Bitcoin perpetuates peace and love. Now on October 20th, Kiyosaki predicted that the gold price would reach $2,100 an ounce, and he expects the price to rally to $3,700 in the future. In August of this year, he predicted that Bitcoin would reach $100,000 per coin, considering the geopolitical issues threatening global prosperity. Quoting him here from this tweet on August 14th, Bitcoin to $100,000 per coin, saying for years, gold and silver and God's money. Basically invest in gold and silver and God's money. Bitcoin is the people's money. Bad news, if stock and bond markets crash, gold and silver will skyrocket. And I know he continues here. Let's see, is this the post here? Yes. Worst news, if the world economy crashes, Bitcoin to $1 million. So there you have it. He's saying if the world economy crashes, Bitcoin is heading to $1 million. He says gold to $75,000 an ounce and silver to $60,000. Savers of the fake US dollars are what? Debt too high, mom, pop, and kids are in trouble. Hope I am wrong, but please take care. Sage advice, he's given us that warning. However, if the stocks and bonds market were to crash, Kiyosaki envisions the price skyrocketing for Bitcoin to $1 million. So what has the most upside potential there? You do the math, you guys let me know, and let me know which assets you are all in on. Do you invest into precious metals? Are you all in on Bitcoin? Let me know in those comments right down below, and let's check some of the comments. Roger Allen, welcome fam, and to everyone just joining us. Rich Dad is my hero. No doubt. Rich Dad is the man. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, definitely a great influence on my life growing up. Reading that book definitely helped me transform my mindset, how to think about money and how to get ahead, being an entrepreneur instead of working for money and being enslaved through their system. Gold and silver hasn't moved for 4 years. I mean, I think gold has been stuck at around that 2,000 level for the past decade. Correct me if I'm wrong. Bitcoin is going to $1 million regardless. That's right, Phil. I agree 100%. Crypto token, says Crypto Surge. Toke it up, fam. Since I live on the Rogue River, I just dug up a little sand and washed the sand away to get my gold. Word, do you really mine gold like that, Roger Allen? Let me know. What up, Sherry Young? Good to see you, fam. How's it going? Happy Monday for you. Bitcoin is the best financial invention ever. Amen. It's the greatest savings to ever exist as well. It's like perfect money in the flesh. And it doesn't even physically exist. It's virtual. Ain't that something? Yeah, man, brother. Let's go. I always think if the internet went down due to a cyber attack, you need a bit. Well, also remember, there's alternative ways to use your Bitcoin if there was no internet, including mesh nets and other technologies. I know Max likes to share, but it would be odd. I mean, if you had gold and you needed to use it in an emergency to buy food, how are you going to do it? Let's say you had a gold chain or a gold bar. It's not like you can split it, whereas a Bitcoin is divided by 100 million Satoshis, so it's more fractional, you know what I mean? But it's good to be prepared for all scenarios, you know what I mean? Thank you, Tag Art Ward. I appreciate you subscribing to the live show. Much love. Once a week, are everyone in here just Bitcoin hodlers only? Ask Jack. That's a good question. Let us know. Chuck says went all in on Bitcoin this month. Congratulations, Chuck Rathall. Massive congrats. Well done, fam. We're going to 1 zettahash per second in 2024 and 1 million per Bitcoin before 2030. Where are we at now? It's like quintillion exahashes per second. I've never even heard of a zettahash, but hey, there's new levels to this ish, fam. Let's go. Okay, don't be a Peter Schiff. Hit that like button. Thank you, okay, good. I appreciate that. That's right. Never be a Peter Schiff. Hit the like. Yes. What up, JB? What up, Sherry? Good to see you, fam. Appreciate you tuning in. If the net goes down, you don't need food, water, guns, and cash. Oh, or is that what you need, do you mean? If the internet goes down? Oh, you need. Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, food would be the #1 currency because you would die without it. Same with water. I don't think you can go more than probably a couple of days without it before you die. So that's keeping it real, 100%. So make sure you got water and food as well. Hey man, I went long at 30,000 Bitcoin. Time to take profit, asked Lucas. Hell nah. I would hodl for the long haul. I mean, if you're in it for the short-term gains, that's your prerogative. But I personally am in it for the long haul. I'll be hodling for generations to come. That's just me. Let me know what you guys think. Because here's the deal. You can take profits. You may need it. You may have to do what you got to do. No one's going to judge you for that. But at the end of the day, what if Bitcoin skyrockets and you were looking to get your position back, but now you got to pay double the price because Bitcoin soars back on up to the all-time high. So you have to contemplate those scenarios because anything can happen. So is what you're buying so worth it that you need it, that you're going to be skimming some profits off the top? Or does it make more sense to hold on, knowing the time we're at right now, right before 2024 halving? You know, Bitcoin runs in a 4-year cyclical cycle. Every halving event, the market goes parabolic, reaching new all-time highs, typically adding a 0 to the end of that number. If we add a 0 to the end of today's number, we're talking about roughly a $370,000 Bitcoin price, which I feel will be a realistic target for this cycle peak in 2025. But let me know your thoughts. Shout out to Rich Hatch. I appreciate that super chat, fam. Much love, much respect. Thanks for joining us. Never sell the Bitcoin. You got that right, Trini. That's the first rule of Bitcoin. You never sell. Kind of like Fight Club. You know what I mean? I know, says Passive. Bitcoin is my wife. Ish coins are the side piece. Says Andy. Oh man, you got to be faithful, bro. Where's your faith at? Sell your ish coins, not Bitcoin. Sage advice, Matthew. If you have to sell something and you're holding on to alt, it'd make more sense to do that because we all know what's about to happen. A Bitcoin is about to rip. Fiat is a ish coin. I agree with Matthew on that. I think it's the ultimate ish coin of all fiat currencies. Got married already, but I would have married Bitcoin, says Crypto Surge. Word up. You guys are awesome. Anyways, fam, let's dive into our next story of the day. Still got a lot to share with you guys. We covered the latest from Rich Dad. Now let's discuss a 60,000 rally incoming, according to top crypto analysts. I believe this is coming from Credible Crypto. Yep. Let's go. Synonymous analyst, Credible Crypto, shares on social media platform X. The Bitcoin might be on the cusp of a big burst to the upside. Send it. The analyst shares a chart, which you can see here, that shows Bitcoin appearing to be mimicking the pattern last seen a few years ago when Bitcoin surged from around 13 to 60,000 in just a few months. The pattern was also witnessed in 2019 when Bitcoin rallied from $4,000 to $14,000. That's right. Contemplate that for a second. This was, I believe, in 2021, right? Bitcoin soared from 13,000 to 60,000 in just about a couple of months' time. So it just goes to show you how fast we can rip when things start to take off. Quoting the analyst here, about to make it 3 out of 3. Let's go. And looking at the chart, he seems to predict the Bitcoin will rally above 42,500 by December 11th, roughly 2 weeks from today. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the analyst in this chart that we can hit 42,500 within the next couple of weeks. Now, in addition to the market structure, Credible is also looking at other data sources, which he says supports his bullish bias. According to the analyst, the Bitcoin open interest, which tracks the total number of outstanding Bitcoin futures and option contracts, indicates that highly leveraged traders have already been flushed out. He also says that spot Bitcoin traders appear to be accumulating the dip. Quoting him here, first, aggregate open interest continues to fall within the tight range, indicating we are getting some deleveraging here, which means liquid cascades in either direction may not be significant. This is healthy. Second, Coinbase has not begun selling off its spot and rather has been consistently buying since my last post. This is healthy. Third, we can see that despite the takers not selling within this tight range, thanks to Binance spot sellers who have the market who had sold at 50 million versus Coinbase's 20 million in buys, the price has remained flat, indicating we likely have limit buyers absorbing a significant portion of these market sells. This is also healthy. And finally, funding and perpetual premiums have been relatively flat since my last post as well. Also healthy. So overall, I think that dips here may be even more shallow than originally anticipated due to the lack of open interest to induce liquidation flushes and the clear spot demand we are seeing at these levels. And you can see here in these charts. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Credible Crypto, and do you feel we're likely to rally to $60,000 here soon and hit 42,500 within the next couple of weeks? Let me know in the comments right down below. Let's go. And welcome y'all just joining us. Grand Buck says, great show. Appreciate you, Grand. BTFD fam, you already know. That's what we do here. We buy the dip, we dollar cost average, rinse and repeat, and hodl for the long haul. I think a lot of Bitcoin sellers in this cycle will regret it. I know you're right, because every cycle, it's the same regret from those who sell their Bitcoin, thinking they outsmarted the market each and every time without fail. Freak that, but I'll always keep some, says Emilio. I'm 60, will wait 5 years, then slowly take some profit. If I never sell it, then I'll have to keep working past 65. Do you expect a pre-halving dump? You'd have to define dump, Lucas, because we will see extreme volatility, 100%. We could potentially run up to a new all-time high and then dump 20 grand, and then halving occurs and we hit a new all-time high again. Anything's possible. So I tell people to be prepared and don't think you are smarter than the market. Everyone thinks they are smarter and they're like, yo, I'm just going to sell at the top and I'll buy back at the bottom. But trying to time it is almost impossible unless you're extremely experienced and you've been around multiple cycles and you have a lot of faith in what you're doing, because most people just get it wrong. The consensus of the market always gets it wrong, and the market will tend to do what the market does, right? So just be careful out there. Personally, I know every hodler of Bitcoin for 4 years or longer is in the green. So I look at this as a long-term investment strategy, not get rich quick, but get rich over the long haul. Just got to have the patience and hodl. You know what I mean? How many of you, this is your first cycle? Let me know. If this is your second cycle, let me know. Put a 2 in there. If this is your third halving cycle, let me know. Put a 3 in there. And shout out to Uday for subscribing to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. I greatly appreciate it, fam. Caleb, welcome. Where's Nipsey? Chilling. The door is open. He has a whole house to himself, so he comes and goes as he pleases. But I'm sure he'll be back to visit, especially with us talking about him right now. So shout out to our official mascot. I'm here to see Nipsey. Well, then Nipsey has to come. Bring it back, Nip. Yes, I think 100%. So 2, okay. So James, this is your second cycle. Supreme, this is your second cycle. Mike, this is your first cycle. Word, Yahim, this is your first. Wow, Philip, this is your fourth. That means since 2012, the first halving. Good Lord. God bless you, fam. We got some OGs in the building. GTR, this is your second. Yahim's first. Phil's second. JK's third. Word. Pam Pool, this is your first. Emilio, first. Daniel's third. Russell Key's third. Frank Jerome's third. Barry, your second. This is my third as well, fam. I got started in 2017, so I still witnessed the parabolic surge from the 2016 halving. You know what I mean? I saw Bitcoin rise from roughly 1,500 when I got in to all the way to 20,000 within that same year. It was lit, to say the least. It was a very Merry Christmas. Sherry, this is your second cycle. That's what's up. Dub Proof second. Grand second. Passive second. Word up. Greg's first. Good. We got a mixed bag here. But a lot of you guys got some experience in the game, so you kind of know what to expect. That's a good thing. Lucas's second cycle, I bought at the top of November 2021, but I've done well now that I'm educated on the cycles. Well, that's good. First of many to come, many more halvings to come. I believe the final Bitcoin won't be mined until the year 2140, so many more halving cycles to come for sure. All right, guys, let's dive into our next story of the day, shall we? We shared the 60,000 rally incoming, potentially hitting a target of 42,000 2,000 within the next couple of weeks. Now let's discuss a $400,000 Bitcoin price target from crypto analyst Mikhail van de Poppe, which means Bitcoin would surge 960% this bull cycle. Send it and let's go. Crypto trader Mikhail van de Poppe predicts a massive Bitcoin surge in the current bull market cycle. In a new session, he shares with his 161,000 subs that based on the previous bull market cycles and the laws of diminishing returns, Bitcoin can explode 961% from its current value to as high as 400,000 per coin. Let's go. Quoting him here, I still believe that this bull cycle is going to be bigger than the previous bull cycle in the sense that we had diminishing returns. So Bitcoin did a 14x or 17x or anything in between because it came from 3,000 and went to 69,000. It even did more. That's right. After the 2020 COVID crash, Bitcoin crashed in the 3,000 to 4,000 range, and then we shot up within a year to that 69,000 all-time high. So he makes a good point. And continuing, and then I think that diminishing returns doesn't mean that if in this cycle from 2015 to 2017 we did an 80x, and in the second cycle here we do a 20x, that we need to do a 5x after that, because this 2019-2021 cycle was pushed downwards by Sam Bankman-Fried, with FTX pushing down the price of Bitcoin during this period. And there were articles proving that point. That's right. I saw some articles as well we covered in the show where Bankman-Fried was offloading the Bitcoin anytime it surpassed that $20,000 target. So Bankman-Fried was suppressing the Bitcoin price action. He got caught red-handed. Now, diminishing returns might also mean that from here in early 2023 at 16,000, you can do an 18x. You do a 20x, which means that if we go and we calculate the numbers, so we calculate the numbers from 2019 to 2021, and we'd say, hey, the bear market has been done. We do a 21x. And from 2023's market cycle low, we're going to do 20x. So it is very reasonable to state the Bitcoin might be going to 300 to 400,000 per coin in this bull cycle, as I think there are many new participants joining the markets going to push the prices through, which it is very likely that we're going to have a 2016, 2017 type of cycle. And in this period, the altcoins will still do well. So there you have it, coming directly from the analyst. Do you feel we're likely to smash 300 to 400,000 per coin? I think that's a great bullish target personally. I've been sharing my bullish target. My bearish target for the cycle peak is anywhere between 220,000 plus, with my bullish target being roughly 500,000 per coin, which is going to take us to our next story of the day. But let me read some more comments out here and let me know your thoughts on the predictions from crypto analyst Mikhail van de Poppe. Welcome, Geert. Did you know about Bitcoin until January of 2023? Started to buy it around 16,000 from my welfare. Word up, Geert. Appreciate you tuning in. True Patriot, welcome. BTC Moon, this is your third cycle. That's what's up. Surges, this is your first cycle. Sandman's first halving. Word up. First of many to come. Amen. Been in the game for a long time, but kept buying and selling, not knowing what I had. Now I'm kicking myself, says Philip. So learn from his mistakes. There you have it. Spycraft says the fourth, and remember the birth of BTC. Word. I just started stacking end of September of 2023. Word up, fam. Third cycle, eyeing retirement, says Top Roller. Let's go. Did you know about Bitcoin? Word. True. Gadgets. This time is different, so be careful. What happens to miners when all the Bitcoin have been mined? That's a great question, right? But it's not going to be mined, all of it, in our lifetime, because the final Bitcoin won't be mined until 2140. So unless we can extend our lifespans a few hundred years, just saying. Got in at February 2022, 2,600 shares of GBTC at 31,000 average. I'm 69 years old and I'm hodling. Congratulations, Bill Allen, and appreciate you joining the show. House Arrest says, Green Meds, is that your prediction for CZ? Let me know. Meaning nothing. SBF is and was a Gensler patsy, so obviously in our face. How do they not bust Gary too? Great question. Congressmen like Tom Emmer have been calling Gary Gensler out for years to get this ETF approved, yet nothing happens. I feel it's a big mafia, like a big club, and obviously we're not a part of it. True Patriot says Bitcoin, and JK says Bitcoin is backed by the money game. Word. Dan Pena, is that you? True Patriot. Yeah, Dan Pena says Bitcoin is going to zero. He's the old man who says Putin invented it. I think that guy is a little crazy. Yuck says, smash those thumbs up. Thank you, Yuck. Appreciate it. I reported True Patriot, says Jeffrey. Bitcoin is not part of the ICO 2022, which is already implemented as of the 19th. Please check. Word. If BTV goes to zero, or do you mean BTC? It would be in decades after it's no longer relevant and people have moved to something. There's plenty of time. Yes, BTC means Silas. Word up. Need help, says Wolf. What do you need help with? If you have a question, I'm happy to answer it, address it to the best of my abilities. That's why we do these sessions. How long do you think Bitcoin is going right now, or how low? That's a good question. I don't think we go much lower. I think we'll recover rather quickly and we'll retest 38,500. So I don't see us going much lower. If I were to throw a target, I'd say maybe 35 is as low as we go, but we may not even go under 36 because look at the market right now. It's clearly in the red, but things are about to turn back into the green, in my humble opinion. But you guys let me know your thoughts. I appreciate that. The low is in. We will never go below 36,000 again. Well, our next story of the day is PlanB making this prediction. He don't believe we'll ever see sub 35,000 ever again. So you never know. We shall soon see. You know what I mean? And yes, the low is in at 15,700. That was in the fourth quarter of last year. Bitcoin's already up roughly, I don't know, what did we up? Like probably 130 or 140% since then. So we've been having a pretty awesome year considering this is supposed to be a bearish year because the halving year will be the year of the bull, 2024. And then the year preceding the halving will be probably the cycle peak if history repeats or rhymes as with the previous cycles. GTR Barbarian, there is no Bitcoin. Is no longer relevant. Bitcoin is an unhackable, unstoppable network. Preach! But I support your freedom of speech. I agree 100% with you, fam. Bitcoin moonshot to 42,000. Let's go. John Williams, will we ever use Bitcoin to buy products instead of just an investment tool? Some people use it to buy products, but it's such a great asset to hold on to. It's hard for people to want to spend it. You know what I mean? If you think of it that way, it's like, yo, would you want to spend your fiat sitting in the bank or use a credit card to buy some food? Or do you want to use your precious Bitcoin to buy some food? Now is not the best time to be spending your Bitcoin, that's for sure. So that's probably the reason why. However, there's layer 2 applications like the Strike app where you can use Lightning Network to, everyday transactions. If you go to Bitcoin Beach in El Salvador, people are using Bitcoin all the time because it's required by law for all the businesses to accept it as a form of payment. That's what you get with a Bitcoin standard. You know what I mean? Let's go. Mt. Gox, what about it? You guys are kind of funny in the chat here. Silk Road. True patriots buy Bitcoin. Amen. Satoshi might do something more interesting like trade it for a Greek island. That'd be hilarious. But it is a fact. Satoshi has not touched any of his Bitcoin. He holds approximately 1.1 million. So Bitcoin is a lot more scarce and finite than you guys think. There's probably 2 to 3 million at least lost and gone forever. They say every year like 4% of the supply is lost because people die, they misplace it, they lose it in boating accidents, and that gives everyone a raise who is a hodler of Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Which is kind of cool. I'm bracing for a big dip sometime soon. Be prepared for all scenarios is always my advice. Dub proof, I'll sell a dub proof t-shirt for 20 bucks worth of sats. Do it up. Bitcoin will shoot to 200,000 by the end of 2024, December. Word. Feels different this time. Very different. I think because the big players are in and they're master players. Definitely master. There is a 500 billion dollar bug bounty to do so. No one has collected it or hacked the network, but maybe the dust off your software engineering and cryptography skills can give it a go. That's true. Good stuff. It can't be hacked. Otherwise, everyone's Bitcoin would have already been hacked. Spending Bitcoin creates a taxable event. Word. Good point there. If you hodl it for the long haul, no, what is that called? What are those types of gains? Capital gains tax. No capital gains tax if you're not selling. Satoshi is dead. It was definitely Hell Finney. He's saying he died with his keys, though, says Jeffrey. Word. It's a mystery, and that's the beauty of Bitcoin. We'll never know who Satoshi is. That's the beauty of it. Whereas with Ethereum and every other altcoin, we know who the creators are, and those creators become attack vectors. Every human being is corruptible, but guess what? Perfect money is incorruptible, and that's the beautiful thing. It's been hacked multiple times, says True Patriot. That's not true. Bitcoin blockchain has never been hacked. Wallets haven't been hacked. I mean, things have been hacked, but it's usually the exchanges who are the honeypots holding the Bitcoin. An example of that would be, with Mt. Gox. Man, cup of noodles sounds good right now. What? Cup of noodles is gross. You got to be held responsible for all these people's money being taken. Are you a joke, True Patriot? And you're calling yourself a true patriot? So are you trying to tell me, do you recommend the dollar? Like, what's your take on this? Are you saying people are stupid for buying Bitcoin? What's the alternative? Are you trying to promote an ish coin, or are you promoting the US dollar? Let me know. And do you work for the Fed? Let me know. I'm curious now. You piqued my interest. Anyways, fam, let's dive into our featured story of the day. Now let's discuss the featured story of the day, which is Bitcoin hitting $524,000 per coin as per PlanB, creator of the Bitcoin stock to flow model. Here is the latest from PlanB. Here we go. On-chain analyst PlanB says he wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin went as high as $524,000 per coin at some point in the next 4 years. He shares with his almost 2 million followers on X a chart depicting which price the majority of the Bitcoin was distributed at each halving when the miners' rewards get cut in half. And as we all know, the next halving in 2024 is roughly 5 months out to take place in April. So based on the historical trend, the Bitcoin appears to top out about 4 times higher than the lower end of the distribution range. PlanB says the king crypto can soar above a $500,000 range in the next several years. He also says that the next bull run could be even more explosive than in the past due to several macro factors affecting the 2021 cycle, including COVID. Quoting the analyst here, at the 2012 halving, most Bitcoin was 16 bucks. At the 2016 halving, most Bitcoin was in the $256 to $1,024 range. And at the 2020 halving, most Bitcoin was in the $4,000 to $16,000 range. And at the 2024 halving, most Bitcoin will be in the $16,000 to $65,000 range. I would not be surprised if the next 4 years, most Bitcoin will transfer in the $65,000 to $524,000 range. Let me know if you agree or disagree with PlanB. Now, the analyst also says the Bitcoin will only remain below the 40,000 level for a matter of time. He shares another chart showing that Bitcoin is trading above the 2-year and 5-month realized price levels as outlined in this realized price chart. The realized price metric tracks the sum of all the Bitcoin at the price they were last transacted on chain divided by the count of Bitcoin in circulation. Quoting PlanB here, enjoy sub 40,000 Bitcoin while it still lasts. And here's some other recent tweets in which he shared. I posted this morning. Bitcoin will never go sub 35,000 ever again. That was on the back of his update here. Breaking Bitcoin valuation based on difficulty, which is the hash rate, increased to 35,000 yesterday. In my opinion, this could mean that apart from possible black swans or short-term volatility based on the dollar kilowatt arbitrage fundamentals, Bitcoin will never go below $35,000 per coin ever again. Let me know if you agree or disagree with PlanB. And someone pointed out here, BlackRock is big shareholders of the 4 largest mining companies. Let's guess. That's right, because they're getting indirect exposure to Bitcoin, probably doing it this way so they don't drive the price up, which would be shooting themselves in the foot. You know what I mean? So let's share what else he recently shared. In my opinion, ETFs like BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager in the world, are currently front-loading BTC through miners instead of exchanges. Pretty slick, right? Buying Bitcoin directly on the exchanges would impact the price too much, but buying indirectly from the miners would impact the hash rate. And what do we got? An all-time high hash rate at the time, right? But not so much the price. Might explain the current hash rate explosion. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that sentiment. He also tweeted here, since you can buy Bitcoin with dollars directly, talking about investors, or with KWH indirectly with the miners, there's an arbitrage modeled with the red line. Difficulty and hash rate is rising fast. So what do the miners know that investors don't know yet? Or are the ETFs buying through the miners? What are your thoughts, crypto fam? Let me know in that live chat. Other interesting tweets. This is one he shared. I think this was, let me check out the date. This was back in September 18th. He wrote, to be clear, I still stand by my January 12th prediction. Number 1, November 2022, 15,500 was the bottom. Check. Number 2, Bitcoin will rise towards the 2024 halving. Bitcoin already rose from the 18,000 level to 27,000 since January 12th. Check. And then he says 2024 halving will be $32,000 to $66,000 Bitcoin, in my opinion. And the 2025 bull market will be greater than $100,000 to $1 million per coin, in my opinion. So that's what the stock to flow model is telling us. The Bitcoin will hit post-halving between $100,000 and $1 million per coin. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the stock to flow model. Now, in yesterday's episode, I shared something very intriguing. I want to touch upon it again. And if you missed yesterday's episode, be sure to check it out. Quoting Samson Mao, in 2022, BlackRock released a study that indicated the optimal portfolio allocation to Bitcoin was 84.9%. The remaining 15.1% can go to equities and bonds. This is a research report coming directly from the largest asset manager in the world. Let me read to you what's highlighted in yellow and green. Check it out. Exhibit 4 presents the results, starting with a 60-40 equity bond portfolio, which is produced with a risk aversion of Y equals 1.5. The optimal Bitcoin allocation is a large 84.9%. Now just imagine, hypothetically, if they went that big into Bitcoin, game on. We're talking about a multiple seven-figure price action. But let me continue. The remainder of the portfolio, 15.1%, is split 60-40 between equities and bonds. And reading you the green highlighted part, although Bitcoin has an extremely large volatility of 1.322, the pronounced positive skewness leads to large allocations and dominates in the utility function. Now they also go on to share they're pulling like a MicroStrategy. They say we can have a levered, which is meaning trading with leverage in Bitcoin, and have 106% position into Bitcoin. Now we're talking. This is actually quite intriguing. Now breaking down some of the math of how we can get to a $47 million Bitcoin. And again, I covered this in great detail in yesterday's episode. I highly encourage you all to check it out, but I just want to touch upon it here today. BlackRock has 9.4 trillion in assets under management, 9.4, and then we got 0.849 for the right Bitcoin position percentage. So 7.98 trillion that BlackRock will need to allocate to Bitcoin to follow their paper, 7.98, and we have 118B of a multiplier that equals $941 trillion market cap. So Bitcoin would be about $47 million per coin. And Samson Mao says the math checks out. And as I share here, with BlackRock allocating their optimal portfolio allocation into Bitcoin of 84.9%, according to their very own study released in 2022, this would send the Bitcoin price action to $47 million per coin. So there you have it, fam. Let me know if you agree or disagree with some of these predictions with the stock to flow, Bitcoin rising between $100,000 and $1 million per coin post 2024 halving. And what are your thoughts on BlackRock potentially allocating almost 85% of their portfolio into the king? You already know, fam, it's about to get lit. What it do, Birdie? Appreciate you tuning in. Dentist, welcome. We got Koju Bets, welcome. Stock to flow model did not account for the Bitcoiners con by the Ethereum parasite. ETH con will implode and Bitcoin will absorb it. Stock to flow is accurate, just delayed. Amen. And you got to give credit where credit is due. Stock to flow has been the most accurate Bitcoin price prediction model, but what threw it off, I believe, was unfortunately FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried and a lot of scandals within the industry. I humbly believe Bitcoin could have hit $100,000 per coin previous bull. We didn't because he was offloading the Bitcoin. He was selling all of your Bitcoin you were uploading to the exchange, and then he was offloading it to Alameda and then making very risky investments clearly, and that didn't go so well for him. You know what I mean? Welcome, Jeffrey. Appreciate you tuning in. What up, Jack? This is our Q&A session. I'm going to stick around, answer as many questions as I can. So if you have something you want to discuss, please do let me know. But please, no spamming. We have moderators that will eventually boot you out of here. So no shilling or self-promotion or spamming. Very basic rules. Let's keep it civil out of respect for the rest of the crypto crew. And do remember, there is a poll in the live chat right now. We got 422 votes. I asked, how much Bitcoin do you currently hold? But note, it's anonymous. So no one will know, including myself. Nobody will know what you chose. All we'll know is ultimately how many people have what, but we don't know who individually. We want to protect our anonymity. You know what I mean? So back to the chat. Appreciate you guys. Welcome, guys, just joining us. They'll need to allocate 85% to send Bitcoin to millions because of the supply and demand factor, says Fan Shia. Word up. Now, being they're the largest asset manager, I felt if they did something like that, that'd be the best endorsement for Bitcoin ever because all the other asset managers would follow right behind them. Look at people like Ricardo Salinas, third richest man in Mexico. His best investment ever has been Bitcoin. He says the majority of his portfolio right now is in Bitcoin. That's the smart move because you got to think, what's the alternative? Junk bonds and gold? None of them are going to perform like Bitcoin. Bitcoin has another 100x potential, easy peasy, over the next course of the next few cycles. What's the potential for gold? You know what I mean? Maybe 10,000, maybe at 5x's, where Bitcoin could 100x. You know what I mean? Junk bonds are just trash. So there is no alternative. And as Saylor said, there is no second best. Let me know if you guys agree. Orlando, what it do, fam? Let's pump those likes for your fam. JV, thank you. The likes do help out tremendously. It gets more eyeballs to the channel, will help usher in that mass Bitcoin adoption, which is what we all want at the end of the day. Mike says BlackRock's assets under management are 401k balances, so the participants determine the Bitcoin allocation. Good insights. You know what I mean? JV, have you ever mined any Bitcoin? Would it be a good idea to start now? I haven't. I guess if you have the investment to purchase the machinery, and it may take some time to recover whatever that, you know what I mean, that investment is, but I have never mined Bitcoin personally, so I don't have any experience there. However, there's probably some miners in the chat because we do have a large chat here with us today. So if anyone has mined Bitcoin before, let us know. And is it profitable for you? What kind of investment did you need? What kind of machinery? Please do share, and I'll read those out loud. Smash the likes. I appreciate that, fam. So from a quick study, good stuff to note. Appreciate the data. Bitcoin Block says gold maxed at 2 grand back when 2 grand was worth more before 2008. Yeah, good point. Because with fiat currency and inflation, I mean, it's obviously worth a lot less today. $2,000 doesn't stretch as much as it did a decade ago. That's for sure. The bull run starts soon, says Green Meds. Amen. Send it. Bitcoin e la luna. Orlando, let's go. Bitcoin truly is a treasure of our time. I do hold some alts that I truly like, but it all comes down to Bitcoin, the best store of value, period. That's right. There's no altcoin that is a store of value besides Bitcoin. The second largest altcoin is Ethereum, cannot be considered a store of value because it has a infinite maximum supply. To be genuinely a store of value, you have to have scarcity. Ethereum, no scarcity if they can just print it out of thin air and they don't tell us what the, you know what I mean? It's not coded into whatever we call that. It's not programmed into the code, the supply. So that's a red alert right there. You know what I mean? I don't trust it whatsoever. Bitcoin truly is a treasure. I got to agree with you on that one. Do you speak only about Bitcoin? I touch upon the top altcoins, Eliman, as we look at a broad perspective of the market. We start the show off every day with our market watch. So we do cover the price actions of the alts. And if there's major news with a top altcoin, I'll tend to spend some time there. But the focus is always on the king for obvious reasons. Bull run started in October with the Golden Cross, 6 weeks in now in a row. Hop on or get left behind. Word up. This train is taken off. Let's go. Do you think there'll be a big crash at the end of the cycle, or have we had the last of the big dumps? I am scared to sell Bitcoin at the end of this cycle. That's a good question. Time will tell. We've seen drawdowns as high as 95%. I think it's going to become less and less as the market cap continues to climb. That's a given, but we shall soon see. Best the dollar cost average when Bitcoin is on the way down. Smash buy when it's on the way up, says Phil. 47 million with BlackRock. What about the others like ARK and Fidelity? Good point. Fidelity has 4.5 trillion in assets under management. We got Schwab. We got so many of the big dogs. Collectively, just the top ones that have applications in with the SEC for the spot ETF is $25 trillion in assets under management. So the question becomes, how much of that 25 trillion will enter Bitcoin over the course of the next few years? That's a good question. And the total addressable market on the planet, 700 trillion we're north of. How much of that will likely flow into Bitcoin? Let me know, fam. I'll read some of your thoughts out loud. Earl says, ready to take home equity and put it into Bitcoin. The wife is scared, but I am committed. Word up. You are the man of the house, so she should listen to you, fam. That would be a smart move in my opinion. I mean, what a great time to get your position in Bitcoin, knowing and having the ETF, the supply shock on the exchanges, 2024 presidential election in the United States. There's so many bullish catalysts right around the corner. I think right now is divine timing, but not investment advice. You always got to do what's best for you and for your family, and you have to live with the decisions you make. So You know what I mean? It is what it is. Crewfessor, appreciate you subscribing to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. Let's go. Encoded into the source code. Thank you. That's what I was trying to say. Wanted to know. Appreciate that. Agree Ethereum is a great example of centralized control. If you can go from proof of work to proof of stake and completely change the game, what else can't you change into the future? Exactly. I lost all respect for Ethereum when they made that switch from their protocol because I don't trust it whatsoever. Iceland 2, cheap hydro setup for aluminum production versus electrolysis. Word up, stylist. Thank you for sharing. Are you a miner yourself? Let me know. My thoughts with Kaspa is an ish coin with 0% of the overall hash rate. Bitcoin has 99% of the hash. Let's go. Yeah, good stuff. Selling mother-in-law to buy more Bitcoin. Smart move. Can't go wrong with that one. I stand by that. You know what I mean? You guys are awesome. But anyways, fam, we're going to wrap up on YouTube. We're going to continue with the uncensored version of the show over on Rumble. I'm going to be doing a lit JV React session. See this sexy looking board here with the smart pads? I got some clips I'm going to be playing and reacting to live, and we'll continue with the uncensored version of Crypto News Alerts. I appreciate it. Head on over to Rumble right now. If you don't have a Rumble account, create one and go find Crypto News Alerts, or simply go to rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net and let's get it on with the uncensored version of the show. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Deuces. Peace. All right. The stream has officially ended on YouTube. We shall commence over